Hi, and welcome to Effective's Top 10 Tips podcast. Each episode is a quick roundup of practical, easy to implement tips on a wide range of management and personal development themes. As always, full show notes for this episode, including a handy summary of each tip, are available on our website. Just see the episode notes for this and many other useful links. We also offer workshops and coaching on all topics covered in this podcast series. Today's episode is on challenging conversations. Tip number 1. What's the problem? If you say, I've got a difficult meeting coming up this afternoon, then by describing it as difficult, you are creating the expectation that it will be, making it more likely that will happen. Just say, I've got a meeting this afternoon. By all means, prepare well for it, but avoid making it difficult in your head before it actually deserves that title. Tip number 2. What's your best response? However the other person or group behave, your own behaviour, your response, is up to you. Your responsibility is your response ability to respond professionally and positively whatever the others are doing. Tip number 3. Separate the individual from the issue. If Harry is smoking in a non-designated area, then the issue is the smoking, not Harry. This makes it possible to value Harry while addressing the issue. People are much more capable of changing the way they behave than changing their identity. So avoid making the issue personal. All that will do is make the individual defensive and even aggressive. Tip number 4. Focus on outcomes. Start at the back. What do you want the meeting to achieve? And work back from there. It's difficult to provide focus in a meeting if you don't know where you're heading. And remember, if you've called the meeting and planned for it, you may be very clear about the outcomes you desire. But does the other person? Tip number 5. Build rapport. You are more likely to be successful in any meeting if you can create positive rapport with the other person. This can include matching them in a number of ways without mimicking them. For example, body language, tone, pace, acknowledgement of their point of view, building on their ideas. Tip number 6. Be inclusive. The best way to do this is to ask non-threatening questions, seeking their opinion. If I ask you now, what is the colour of your front door? It's almost impossible for you not to answer it, even if only in your head. So you are engaged and thinking about something I want you to think about. So ask questions, invite comments, seek their opinion. Tip number 7. Manage time. When people are interested, time goes quickly. When they are nervous, anxious or bored, it drags. So you and the other person might see the same time differently. Also, if you are introducing new ideas that the other person may not have thought about, then give them time to do that. It might be better to have 2 15-minute meetings, one to raise, one to discuss, with reflection time in between, than have one 30-minute meeting which tries to do it all in the one sitting. Tip number 8. Use key interpersonal skills. These are my top 5. Positive body language, asking positive questions, active listening, recap, and acknowledge and build. Tip number 9. Manage emotion. In any challenging meeting, either party could be or become emotional. If that happens, remember these 2 key points. Emotion hijacks reason. You cannot reason with someone who is emotional. So the quickest way to get someone to move from emotion back to reason is to let them vent, let off steam, as long as it is safe and private. Tip number 10. Use a sensible structure. What that is, of course, is up to you, or the both of you. But it might typically follow this scope structure. S. Symptom. What's the evidence there is a problem or issue? C. Cause. What are the reasons for the issue? O. Options. What are the options to resolve the issue or move it forward? P. Preference. What does each person prefer from the options considered? And try and get consensus where possible. E. Execute. Put that preference into action. So, that's it for this episode. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed the podcast, please share it or leave us a review. Remember, you can find full show notes on our website, plus a growing library of free resources which you can easily search by theme to find content that's relevant for you. We also offer workshops and coaching on a wide range of topics. Links to all of these resources are in the episode notes. Thank you.